Hey there. I don't know if everybody can hear me at this point. I do apologize. We have had some technical difficulties. So I am coming, I promise. All right. So Abby, I need you to tell me if you can see my screen.
It is loading.
I can see you.
Now I can see it.
Can we see the mission control screen?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome. 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 And then Abby, I'm going to rely on you right now. Does it look like everybody's coming in the room?
Yep, we have people kind of steadily joining in. So
Okay. First of all, thank you. I apologize for the delay. I just had another webinar. It was on Microsoft Teams. This is Zoom. I don't think they liked each other very much, and it ended up causing me a little bit of a panic here. So I do apologize. So Abby, for whatever reason, I am not seeing my bar for Zoom. So as long as it looks like people are chiming in, anybody that in the chat, please let Abby know you can hear us. Want to make sure everybody can hear us okay. And Abby, so let me know about that because I'm not seeing that either as far as the chat box.
yeah, I can see the the attendees starting to join. We have the Q&A section, so it's not the regular chat, but you can drop a question in there if you aren't able to hear, and we can.
Awesome. Okay, very good. Okay, cool. All right, so we see 45. All right, so very good. First of all, I apologize. Thanks everybody for being patient on this. I was having a little anxiety coming in here trying to figure out how to get my computer to behave. Welcome to our webinar. I'm so excited. I've been so excited to go through this with everyone. So thank you so much for joining. I've got some wonderful folks on the webinar with us today. First of all, Miss Abby from New Catering Connection. Say hi, Abby. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat, and I'll make sure we get to those throughout the webinar. So anything you need, we can take a pause and answer those for you.
Awesome.
But glad to have everyone joining.
Thank you, Abby. And then we've got Danielle Guzetta, who is my partner in crime on these things. So Danielle, say hey.
Absolutely, partner in crime. Love that you have me here. Thank you so much for having me here. Owner of RevGen Marketing and past decade as Chief Marketing Officer in the restaurant industry. So I love this kind of stuff.
Well, we're very excited. This is our third one together. Is that correct? Is this number three?
This is our third one.
So, very
this
cool.
Is number 3.
We're finding our groove. We're finding our groove. I think I stepped on toes and she stepped on mine a few times, but I think we're getting the dance down pretty good. So, and then one of the nicest people I've ever known in the restaurant industry, Mr. Preet Sayani is going to be joining us. He's the founder of Catering Rewards. Preet, want to say hey real quick to the team here real quick and introduce yourself, please.
Sounds good. Thanks, Byron. Thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to be here, excited to share all the knowledge and information, be here with the Yoda himself, Byron, a lot of wisdom, and with Danielle, and this is going to be a jam-packed, a lot of information. I am also the owner-operator of McAllister's Deli in Phoenix metro area. Glad to be here.
Well, very good. Well, thanks for joining us. The Preet is here to kind of talk about the concept of rewards. It's that care part of the customer journey. But it also plays such a huge role in sales. And so I'm going to take a deep breath here just because I had a little minor kind of stress panic attack. We're going to take a little deep breath and kind of go through everything. So if you've attended our previous one as part of the catering customer journey, Danielle and I made a mistake last time thinking we could do 2 sections in one webinar. And we found out pretty quickly going, oh my gosh, I think there's too much stuff here. So we made a corporate decision after the last one that we were going to go ahead and split these up where each one is only going to be one webinar. And so we did awareness and exploration. Today, we're going to be doing connection. It's the third part of the catering customer journey. If you did not attend the first ones, I want to cover those real quick with you. Awareness, their ability for you to be able to tell the greater world that, hey, I'm here, I do catering, I'm proud, I'm excited, I want to be a part of it. Exploration is your ability to let people find you and some of those challenges that we talked about on the last call. Today's about connection. That first time where either they reach out to us or we're connecting with them and we're having that first true conversation about catering. And so this is exciting for me to be able to kind of go through this a little bit. Oh my goodness, where am I at here? I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. Give me a second. That's where my day is going, y'all. I appreciate it. Okay, so we'll get there. So listen, the good news about this kind of thing is we all get to make a few little errors here. I will try to make sure we get there quickly. So the whole I thought that screen looked a little different. So when we're getting into connection, we're splitting this up into two components, which is it's going to be inbound catering and outbound catering connections. And so one, I apologize for everybody getting to see the behind the scenes on this. All right. So Abby, what screen is showing right now?
Right now, I'm seeing your second tab, and it looks like it's loading.
Is it now the catering-space.com page?
Control dashboard, yes.
So, okay, I'm at where I want to be, right? Mission control dashboard. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
So, as you're going to see, it's kind of an initial sneak peek into a site that we're building called the catering-space.com. And we'll go a little bit more deeply into that. So we're going to get back into our catering customer journey here, and we're going to get down to those six steps that we talked about. Today, we're going to talk about connection and kind of get into that piece a little bit. So the connection phase is that pivotal moment when prospects move from casual curiosity about catering to genuinely wanting to work with you. There's some interest there. They may not have decided yet, but what they're trying to do is say, is this a partner that works for me? And so that's where the connection piece is kind of coming into play. It's where curiosity transforms into real engagement. I'm going to ask you one more time, Abby, just to make sure. Are you seeing webinar agenda on the screen? Okay, so I trust that we're where we're supposed to be. All right. So connection is the part where, again, it determines whether we're now going to have a conversation. And so how that connection takes place, whether it's inbound or outbound, is really going to be kind of up to what the client does, are your efforts out into the community. So for the agenda today, we're going to talk about inbound communications first. Then we're going to introduce Preet and let him introduce catering rewards to everyone. And then I'm going to talk about outbound connections. Then we're going to get into September strategic targets. And then we've added some time at the end of this. So if some of you can't hang all the way through, we'll be able to record this on the back end so you can kind of get a sneak peek. The exciting part is after the call today, we will publish. So the website will have now all the information that we're sharing today available for you to access. So there's no presentation, there's no Canva, there's no PowerPoint. You actually just go to the site and you'll be able to have access to all of the information we're going to show you and so much more. You'll be surprised as we kind of dig into this a little bit. As you scroll down, I'm not going to play the video, but we made us a cool little video about space. So wanted to explain something to you as we do this. I'll do this for 30 seconds and kind of get into it a little bit. When we bought the domain, the catering space, I initially designed in my head that this was going to be a site where all of our catering folks could gather and have a place. I never thought of the outer space mindset. But as we started looking, and Danielle and I were having conversations, and I was having some conversations with our NCC team, we started thinking about, the future, right? And the future of catering sales. And that catering sales used to be, you'd go to a classroom a few times a year, you'd have a presenter, they would present a PowerPoint presentation, you might take a quiz, you go home with a little certificate to show your boss that you attended. And I think it's time for us to kind of evolve past that a bit. And so what I wanted to do is create kind of a site where you can go and access what you need. You can find what you need. You'll still have access to a lot of experts in over across the site or are affiliated with it. But what we wanted to do is give you a chance to be able to kind of go do some self-guided learning, and we'll cover some of what that means in the process. So over the weekend, I'm scanning through channel surfing. For those of you under 30, that means I'm sitting there with a remote control changing channels. And I came across an old Star Trek episode. And what I happened to notice on the Star Trek episode, as the Enterprise is going by, it shows NCC 1701 or whatever the name of the ship is. And I'm sitting there going, oh, NCC, well, that's cool. So then we realized that obviously New Catering Connections, we call ourselves NCC. That kind of led me to the idea of being able to create something. So we have this here for you to watch. I posted it on LinkedIn, but it's a cool little 2-minute video that talks about what we do, but the future of catering sales. So that was a big intro. So I appreciate everyone's patience for me getting me through that. And we're going to talk about inbound communications now. So I'm going to turn it over to my friend Danielle.
Well, thank you, Byron. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I love this kind of stuff. Been doing it forever. And I really wanted to kick us off with an astonishing stat that I just read from National Restaurant Association that says nearly 75% of all restaurant traffic is happening off premise. I'm going to say that again. 75% of all restaurant traffic is happening off premise. This is unheard of. This means that almost 3 out of 4 of your orders are coming through takeout, catering, or delivery. So if you are not prioritizing catering as its own business unit, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. So let's continue the conversation about what prioritizing catering means. That's connection, this is a critical component. And this is the first step in where people are saying, do I want to place an order with these people? So it's critically important that your first line of defense is on top of things and understands. There's really 4 ways that inbound communications take place: restaurant inquiries, phone and email, online, and referrals. And we're going to jump in. Not yet. I don't want to miss the stat. So scroll back up there.
There you go.
We're going to jump in and do a deep dive on each of these. But another astonishing stat or data comes from the Harvard Business Review. Companies responding within 5 minutes are 100 times more likely to connect with their guests. 5 minutes. How many restaurants are answering on the first, second, or third ring? Have a dedicated line for customers. Have a catering manager that can speak to it. If you're not grabbing that line within the first 5 minutes, your rate goes out. Here you can see within 5 minutes you have a 50% connection rate. After 24 hours, that drops to under 1%. They're leaving. Nobody's going to be on hold. Nobody wants to leave a message. People don't want to get a call back. They're moving on to a competitor. So speed is your best friend, and this is one of the best ways that you're going to capture these connections and convert them into leads. So let's scroll down.
How many times are you hearing in the restaurant, can I have my catering sales manager call you back tomorrow?
No good.
Right?
No good. No good. No good. So the number one place that guests discover us is obviously in our dining room, right? This is the best sales floor. Every guest in that dining room is a potential catering client. And this is the most conversion you're going to see is through this face-to-face. Byron, let's click on that really quickly. I want to go through a couple of high points. Critically important to train your staff. Every server, host, manager needs to understand your catering program, be able to talk about your catering program. When I was at Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza, we would have our servers do a work the room, and that's where they would stand, peruse the room, look for people in scrubs, business suits, logoed attire, and they need to be able to approach the table and start the conversation with these people, because these are the people that you want to get at. These are the corporations, the hospitals, the pharma reps. Your dining room is jam-packed with potential customers, and your staff is that first line of defense. So it's critically important that they are well versed in catering. Secondly, table tents, visual cues, menu inserts. Every bag leaving the place should have a flyer in there. Catering menus should be readily available. I just read a stat from Technomic. 61% of restaurant guests had no idea their favorite restaurant catered. What? That's crazy. This is low-hanging fruit. And when you are talking about orders that are $350 to $450, you're talking about a lot of money.
Hey, Danielle, can I say one thing real quick? We have a Chick-fil-A owner that works with us, and he said they did some surveys of their clients. Over 25% didn't know they catered. Chick-fil-A, who spends millions and millions of dollars promoting it. So understand the importance of your staff and other things that inside the restaurant. I thought that was amazing. Sorry.
Absolutely. Let's pop into these key strategies. I want to pop into the restaurant, the phone inquiries. I think that was
which one is it?
Under train your staff, the phone inquiries.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep.
I think it's under train your staff. No, sorry. Back to the main page. We're talking about phone in restaurant. Go back one.
Yep.
Let's go to the phone. Let's go to phone inquiries.
Yep.
Okay. Phone inquiries. We just talked about 75% of your restaurant traffic now coming in through off-premise. 25% of that 75% is coming in through the phone or emails, not online. You do the math, 25% of a $75 billion industry is roughly $18 billion opportunity. It is mission critical. Phone and email, quick response. You want to make sure, I mean, ideally, you want to have a line that's directed to your restaurant and a line that's directed to catering. And you want to have somebody answering that catering line. I mean, you're paying a lot, orders 350 to 450 on average. You're paying restaurant owner or a server to answer the phone for far less than that. What are your hours? What are the directions? By all means, it's critically important that you have somebody there taking these calls. There's a three ring rule. Do a deep dive there. Yep. 3-ring rule. Why speed matters. Each ring is 15% chance that they hang up. By ring 4 or 5, 70% have already decided to call somebody else. So it's critically important that somebody is there. They answer, even if they can't take the order right at that second, say, hey, tell me a little about your event. Let me have the catering manager get back to you. Let me work on a proposal. Critically important that we answer within that 3-ring rule. Scroll down. Professional greeting. Obviously, this sets the tone. A guest may love your food. If they get a server or somebody on the phone answering the phone who's either having a bad day, is not knowledgeable about catering, they do not have a confidence level that you're going to be able to deliver. So it's critically important that greetings are professional. There is so much information in here. As you can double click in all of these. There is scripts for front of the house, scripts for people answering the phone. There's a lot of information here. So we just want you to know what's there. You want to be prepared. Your staff needs to be prepared. Whoever's answering the phone, we want to make sure they have menus. They can answer questions about pricing. This is what attracts the customer and is really going to convert them into a potential lead. So each one of these, Byron, if you want to just click in real quickly to show them as they go into each section.
Yeah. So one thing I was going to show you as far as be prepared information at your fingertips. One of the things that we always used to do is have menus with prices, please, but have them laminated near the phones. So that way your people on the phone don't have to go, I don't understand it. Just teach them how to read the menu, some little basic things like that. But always have things near your phone. But yeah, so where Danielle's talking about is in all of these different areas, we have areas for you to click through. So if you've got a deep dive for phone practices here, if you want to learn more about how to handle urgency, there's an urgency deep dive. So if they have same day catering needs, what should the solution be? And it takes you from acknowledge the urgency, quick discovery questions, access feasibility. There's options in this site that we're going to let you kind of browse when we're done that kind of take you to things like is QSR different than fast casual, different than casual dining, right? All of those differences are so really important. So we did in-restaurant discovery. One of the things that I liked here, Danielle, that I thought was exciting was when you kind of get into how to train your staff. And then there's even some staff training documents here, how to train your restaurant, how to train your catering sales manager, your franchise owner. All of you kind of get in here. It kind of talks about how to do staff training for at different levels and what your role is. So a lot of really cool stuff the deeper you dive in this information. Did you want to dig into the email online or social media, or do you want to go right to the 2-minute rule?
Just on email, because email a lot comes in. So, email is the same situation. Respond quickly, respond within 2 to 4 hours. Even if you can't get a full proposal to them, you want to respond quickly. This whole section gives you email templates, subject lines, how to start the conversation, how to put together a proposal. So very critically important that you take the time. We can't go through everything, but just to show you, really, it is chock full of information. So yes, let's go to the 2-minute rule.
Yeah. So for inbound, I always have used for email, use the inner office memo concept where when you're sending emails to folks, talking to them about the ability to, almost like you're sounding like you're talking like an inner office instead of being a pitchy email. It's really more of, hey, event question, needing meals, are we covered? ? Something like that. They can kind of really clearly articulate that it's something that somebody might open. So the 2-minute.
So this is very, very cool. So in the beginning, we talked about connection. Answer within 5 minutes. You have 50% chance of connecting. This is now the difference between a lead and a sale. So if you are reaching out and connecting with a guest within the first hour, your conversion rate from a lead to a sale is between 35 and 50%. Pretty high, pretty good. You wait 24 hours, that drops to 3%. So as Byron started the conversation, can I have my catering manager call you tomorrow? You're immediately now in that 3%. So this is a really cool tool that Byron built, and Byron, scroll down. This can show you, go ahead and click on the timer there, it says start. You will see as the minutes lapse where your closing probability falls to, right? So the more time that lapses, opportunity to close drops away. So it is really speed and accuracy and professionalism are really, really important. And I think I don't know if there was something underneath there. Continue
I
scrolling
love
down.
talking about it. Just a little bit more of a recap of the cost of what a delayed response is.
Delayed, right.
So, and it's how you're perceived, right? Within an hour, that's whatever. After 4 hours, I'm looking elsewhere, right? By the next day, I'm not waiting for someone to call me back. So, and there's some strategies built in here for you. There's even some templates. You'll see an email template. You'll see some different ways for people to respond, and even a 30-day plan on how to put it all into action. So,
and I scroll right down to the bottom. I want to just show them really quickly the lead scoring tool. Keep going down, this lead scoring tool, right? So not all leads are created equal, right? Obviously, timing, priority, event size, budget, but this is a cool little tool that can help you prioritize your leads. Obviously, if something's in a week versus 3 months, the priority is there, but this is a little tool that you can use to say, okay, how critically important is it, on a scale of 1 to 10 for me to really prioritize? So a lot of good information there. And again, as you continue to deep dive, this site, which is a living, breathing site, has everything from A to Z. People are at different points in their catering. You might want to just dig into a certain area, or you want to possibly cover everything. I'm going to repeat what I said on the last call. It definitely bears repeating. As a CMO for the past decade who built catering programs from the ground up, I would have killed for a tool like this. It is all here for you. It's just really taking the time. I know there's many that don't have bandwidth. That's where myself and or Byron comes into play to help you do these things. But if you have a team or a person dedicated, which I highly recommend just to catering, you have everything here you need to be successful.
Well, one of the things that we're trying to build is these little tools that you can implement, maybe just one at a time. In other words, so you don't feel overwhelmed with this magnitude of stuff. So she touched on the catering lead scoring matrix, and this is for inbound. So this is if somebody emails you, calls the restaurant, even maybe submits an inquiry online somehow. It's a chance for your person answering the phone or your manager in charge to go, okay, let me give this a scoring. So how many guests are you having? When is the event? Is it like within a week? Is it, or do we have a couple of months? Are you planning far ahead? Did I get your budget? Do I know if you've used us before, et cetera? You accumulate the points, and then it tells your person, I need to get somebody to respond to them ASAP. Or if it's a little bit of a cooler lead, going, hey, you know what? I know you got about a month or two. I've got all your information down. I'm going to see if I can have somebody call you back in a few hours. And then if it's something that's further out or not a big opportunity, you can still say, listen, hey, I've got somebody. They're really working on something else right now. I've locked you in. I've got your information. I'm going to make sure that somebody calls you back later today, maybe first thing in the morning, and I will follow up with them. So it's that confidence you're conveying. But this will tell you a simple tool like this that you could probably put up near the cash register or near the phones to say, how important is this event? And this can dictate the next steps. It's those types of tools that we want to continue to give you to be able to get you to understand how to prioritize some things so you're not losing the business. Danielle touched on something, and I'd like to dig on it just a step further if we can. 75% of catering orders are coming online, right? Isn't that the stat we keep hearing now, that 75% of catering orders are placed online? So that 25% that's calling your restaurant, that's emailing you directly to your email box, or they're coming in and visiting. That the 25% have to be in one of those formats. If they're not ordering online, they're ordering through a person somewhere. The online, you don't have a whole lot of control over, but everything else you do. And the experience and the moment will determine whether they order from you. And we all know what lifetime value is for catering, especially those that want the personal touch. Anyone that wants a personal touch is wanting it because they want to rely on someone. If you cannot provide them the satisfaction or the experience that they're looking for, they will not return. You will not get them back. They are going to find that person that they trust that's going to do this for them. And so don't even just underestimate the value of that first transaction, but it's the subsequent transactions that you risk losing. The last thing I'll cover before I kind of move back and we'll introduce Preet is the idea that we do inbound programs where we provide inbound sales support. So somebody comes to, they call, in other words, you would put your phone number, your email address, whatever, and it pours into the NCC system. What we've found, we've done 7 months with one client. We are on month 4 with our second client, and we're onboarding 2 more clients now. But what we've learned as we've continued to do this is that 75% of the time for both clients, they're ready to order when they call. So if your person is not capable of taking the order 3 out of every 4 times, that means they're going to the business that is going to be able to take their order. So don't assume that they're just calling for information. We're finding by observing what's coming in through websites, what's coming in through email, what's coming in through phone, is that 75% of the time they're ready to order on the spot. And what we've also found, which is really cool, is that the average order size is about 75 to 80% higher than what we were seeing on their regular orders. We have one client that's been with us 7 months. I think we've taken almost $100,000 worth of inbound orders. Their average order size is almost $1,000. It's crazy. And the other one is at 700 and rising. So those inbound calls, those are people, those are your graduation parties for 100. Those are the large events because they don't want to just go online and order for 150 people on the website. They want to talk to someone. They want to understand all the pieces of this process. And if you're denying them the ability to talk to someone, they will go to somewhere that is going to be able to have somebody that can sit and talk to them. So don't underestimate the value of those inbound calls. So yeah, Danielle, anything else on the inbound piece here before we kind of go?
I think you covered it.
There's a lot there, y'all. One thing that we're still, again, we're finding our rhythm on how to do this with a website. It's hard for us to figure out how to show you all the deep dive steps. Some of these go 4 and 5 steps deep. You'll get templates, you'll get scripts, all kinds of stuff. This is going to be for you to have. It's free for everyone that wants to just visit the site. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to register. We just want it to be a site where you can find what you need. So Mr. Preet, we'll go ahead and we'll do an introduction for you in Catering Rewards at this point. I know that you want to show your screen at one point. Everybody hang tight with us. I'm technologically sometimes at a disadvantage here with Zoom, but we'll see how this goes. So Preet, do you want to show your screen at this point, or do you want to just me to go through the slides and then you can transition when you're ready?
Yeah, we could do that. We'll just go through the slides really quick and then we can transition.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Byron. Really useful information Byron and Danielle shared. Again, for me as well, those flyers, extremely important. I started, so just a little background, founder of Catering Rewards, running McAllister's Deli. Using the rewards program, I won some accolades, mainly driven by catering growth. Just to give you some perspective, at one point, I was doing 4 or 5% catering sales, $4,000 a month. And then with the rewards program, and again, obviously really honing in on third-party sites. I know third-party sites are not very profitable. They look nice and sexy on the top line, but on the bottom line, not so good. But really focusing on your in-house sales through rewards led to 300% year-over-year growth in catering. Went from 5% to today doing over 30% of total sales, mainly driven by Catering Rewards, direct sales, mainly driven by Catering Rewards program. So with that, let's go to the next slide, please.
All right.
Here's my contact information. It'll be always there, so we can go to the next slide. I want to get into some information about how important are catering incentives and what kind. So here's two stat that are published. on the next slide, if you have a loyalty customer, they see 67% higher average check size than the first time customer. And on frequency, you see 20% higher frequency for your customer who's in some sort of a reward or loyalty program than your regular customer.
So
This is an insight from my location. Sorry, go ahead, Byron.
I was going to ask you, why do you think that subsequent orders are higher than first orders? Is it I have trust in you with the small orders, and I'm giving you the big one? What do you think generates that?
So just the reciprocity principle, right? It's just the same thing you have with your credit card, you will go out of the way, or at all things equal, you'll take Delta because you have frequent flyer miles. You'll be upgraded to the next status. You're almost there. You'll use one credit card over the other credit card because you get higher points. They are better perks. So it's the basic psychology that first you are giving something, valuing them in a little bit different way. Second, if the service and the food and everything else is good, all things equal, you're staying top of mind because you want to maximize the basic principle of economics, your utility curve, which is how can it benefit me, not only in terms of food and experience, but also in other non-food aspects. So that's why you see higher value in check size, but also the frequency. The numbers below are, and I'll show you, this is from my direct software, Catering Rewards. For this location, the customers, direct customers who are part of the loyalty program, the average order size, this is before taxes, this is food subtotal before taxes, tips, and delivery fee, $830 versus customers who are ordering directly but not part of the loyalty program, $329, and customers who are ordering from marketplace. So difference of 152% and 116% in average order size. Again, much higher, but the average is 67% and 20%. The important point is also what kind of incentive. Not all incentives are equal. So on the next slide, I highlight here, the right incentive is, we've spoken to a lot of catering customers, and we've seen this with elsewhere in the marketplaces implementing these. They want something, catering customers want something as good as cash, like Amazon gift card, and they love the reward aspect with every order. So if you're giving this one-time discount offer, 25% versus putting it out there, as Danielle mentioned, as a bag stuffer in your catering bags, or to your driver to give it to the customer who's receiving the order, hey, you're going to earn some sort of reward with every order. Again, this is based on tiered. We have a tiered approach. That's why I'm saying 3 to 6%, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And this is not on just us talking to our customers, because we saw a lot of our customers switching to marketplaces, and some who haven't switched, and we offered them proactively the feedback that they gave us, because we gave them our store gift card, we gave them discounts, we gave them free cookie tray, free gallon tea, all those kind of things. And at some point, they're like, that doesn't incentivize me anymore than maybe for the first time.
Right.
We've also seen this, if you go to the next slide, Byron, on online forums, it's replete with EAs and sales rep talking about, I like these points, kids' graduation party. The one thing I miss about my old job are those points. I mean, on and on and on. I'm preaching to the choir, but just restating the fact that these points, how they think, are very important from their perspective. If you offer them what they want versus what we think we should be offering, a big difference in terms of catering. Now, if you are a customer who are ordering for yourself, family of 4, it matters, because it's, I'm ordering food for myself, discount may work. I don't offer that big. I'm not offering for 100 people. But for catering customers, it's a different incentive.
So
let
me ask you this real quick as we scroll through. So Easy Cater is up to 5x rewards, right? Traditionally, as where. So would you recommend that, since you're saving money on commissions, right, and PPP by converting these folks, that you should be at 7%, 8%, 10%? Have you figured out what that right percentage is for people that are using this model?
Yeah, so good question. First thing, you can't convert everybody because there's so many boundaries. Everything is easy, predictable. They are locked in. They don't even have control over the credit card. It's corporate mandated. But there are enough folks in there. They are happy to do two things. First, you can, once you tell them, hey, look, you're going to earn high rewards. And we don't even need to go up to 10%. Even 7% I've seen is enough to say, oh, okay, 7 or 8%. And where it helps is to give them really good incentive on first order. Hey, you convert, place a first order with us, we'll give you $50 as a thank you. And again, we'll talk about a little bit really quick in the software how you can do it. So those kind of things, just to break the barrier, is helpful. They know your food is good. They've been ordering from you. They know they like you. The second factor, likability factor, is look, I'm a small business owner. It'll really help me if you do this. And if you can do this, that would be helpful. And I kid you not, there are a lot of people, first off, who do not understand that there is a huge percent they're paying. And those who do understand, when you remove that factor of rewards and they see that I'm going to earn extra, the factor of, okay, I'm going to help Byron because I like Byron. I order from him. He goes out of the way to make sure my, events go smooth. I'll do that for you, Byron. So those things matter a lot in making sure, your conversion is smooth. Great question, Byron. But you don't need to go to 10, 12, 15%. 7, 8% is a good sweet spot.
Okay.
Three ways catering rewards can help grow catering. One is we talked about conversion, help you convert where possible some customers to start ordering back from you. They used to order from you, but they switched for a different reason. Now some of them, at least you can convert them back. Second, you can offer it proactively so that you curb the flow as more and more people discover. As you saw on those forums, people are discovering all these things. And everybody in this gig economy is trying to maximize their utility curve, whether driving for Uber, whether doing crypto trading, or whether maximizing their reward points through various offers. The second piece here is acquisition. We'll talk more about, like Danielle mentioned, when you're talking about inbound calls or inbound inquiries or Facebook messages or LinkedIn messages, marketing that you're posting, your social media posts. When you talk about, hey, by the way, you'll earn rewards with every order that you can redeem as, Amazon, it clicks. We've tried this with outbound as well as inbound, and what we have seen is in every case where, and I'm talking about LinkedIn marketing, in every case where we've reached out to people where we haven't said you can earn rewards, people are interested, they haven't placed the order. And every time where we've given them some sort of sign up incentive, they've signed up and placed an order. So very high correlation there in acquisition and obviously growth. Average order size increases. The more they can think about, the higher the points, the higher the order size, and it gradually increases. They can't order from you all the time, but they could potentially keep you for bigger events. And the last piece is frequency. You increase the lifetime value just because you're top of the mind, and they're going to make sure that they order more and more so that they are they earn those points. So the repeat business automatically is helped. This is just summarizing. It will boost your inbound and outbound conversions when you use, there's a high correlation when you use these incentives in the right way. Below are the two screenshots I've kind of put here as an example. I ran this ad on Google on 3% cashback, spent about $3,500 on Google AdWords. And if you can see for top of the page, I was able to beat Easy Cater. And on the right-hand side, at the bottom, there is also an impression. I was ranking higher than Easy Cater, DoorDash, and many other competitors. But it is important to understand the quality of the ad, what keywords you use, how you define and design, many factors. But if done right, it helps in conversion inbound. Same with the outbound. The screenshot below, as I was mentioning, the LinkedIn ad on the next slide, Byron, here, we're reaching out to all these office professionals on LinkedIn. And when we reach out and say, hey, this is the incentive, you can sign up here, people are either saying, hey, I've been catering from you, I'm already earning rewards, or this is cool, thank you, I'm thinking of an event, maybe I can call you this day or that day. So it really helps in driving that conversion. The last piece here, I'm going to say is we focus a lot on acquisition. It is important to understand retention because in today's day and age, with short attention span, it costs double to acquire a customer than even just 2 years ago. So you don't want a leaky bucket. You're spending so much time acquiring, and then you're not increasing their lifetime value, and you have a leaky bucket where they're forgetting you. Just a 5% increase in customer retention, here's the stat, it can increase companies' profitability by 75%. So that's huge.
There's no
I think
investment
that's
on
it
the
with
front end.
that.
Yeah, you already got a customer. When we get this site published and we'll send it out, you'll be able to email Preet from here. You'll be able to call him, or you'll be able to kind of learn more, which will take you to his website. Preet, one more question before we kind of get back to outbound sales is this a brand level program, or can an individual restaurant participate?
Good. It's both. Brand level, we have a lot of features for brand if they want to implement it. And individual customers, they can choose to offer it to everybody or select. Again, there's a lot of interesting data that we pull in. Byron, do I have a minute to show a quick overview or not
Actually,
yet?
I don't think we do right now, but if somebody
Okay,
would be interested in an overview, I'm assuming you'd be willing to do some demos for some folks, is right? Correct?
absolutely,
Yeah, I just
absolutely.
don't want to run out of time, but I appreciate it. One of the things about Preet's program, which I really like and I think is important, is that he's already proven it out himself that the model works. And I think that's something that's very important. Is that acquisition is the goal here is not to take an Easy Cater customer and necessarily convert them. It's that people that were are buying from you and your restaurant, that you owning that relationship over time. And I think that's
Hmm.
the key here, is that it's the relationship piece that we want to talk about. And we use Easy Cater. There's multiple marketplaces out there. One thing that I'm kind of wanting us to change our how we think of things is that, remember, when you're working with a marketplace, you are the third party. We keep calling them the third party, but you're the third party there.
That's right.
You're the fulfillment part of this equation. The first party is the marketplace. The second party is the client. You are the faceless person providing the food. So own your relationships where you can, and I think that's the key here. So, Preet, thank you so much. Please
Well
hang
said.
around.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure if we have some questions, I want you to be here for that if you can. So we want to talk about the outbound communication. So Danielle talked about inbound. How do you handle when they come in at the restaurant or the phone, and as you dig in there, you're going to see a lot of tools on it. What I want to focus on a little bit is your ability to go outside of your four walls, even either virtually or physically. One of the things that I built in here that I want everyone to kind of take a look at is, do you know your trade area, and your ability to, as you kind of click on this, to understand, to travel your trade area. What's the best summary of your market? Are you downtown? Are you a city? Are you a suburb? Are you rural? Because that's going to dictate who your clients are. So you got to travel your trade area. You got to know the ins and outs to know who your clients are. Otherwise, you can't do your research. You can't start to pinpoint, where do I want to focus my energy? What are the 3 to 5 most dominant industries in catering in general, but then more specifically to your market? So we all know car dealers and schools and pharmaceutical reps and medical offices. And we all get excited to those things. Did you know that construction is traditionally one of the top 5 catering opportunities for most restaurants, and yet it's often ignored? Construction is one. So understand those dominant industries. Are you in a college town? Is that impacting you? Are you in a government town? Is there state government or federal government nearby? That's important things for you to understand. Are nonprofits prominent in your area? Whatever that might be. So learn that. Again, is there a college or university? Is there a government opportunity? Know who your competitors are. I understand if you are a franchisee or if you're a corporate store, you may have limited control over what your pricing is. But if you don't know who your competitors are and you haven't done a competitor evaluation, then it's hard for you to know what your price point should be. And so understand who are your competitors, who are your direct competitors, and your indirect. Again, we talk about there's so much stuff embedded in these things. So as you get a chance, go dig into it. You'll be surprised how much is in there. So talking about the corporate outbound strategies, and we don't have a ton of time, but I want to cover the big ones. So the big ones are direct sales calls. So that's you making calls from your restaurant out into the community. Research your prospects, know the company size, what industry are they in, Maybe you can uncover some recent news. AI will tell you anything if you know what to ask it. So understand the recent news, maybe who the decision makers are. What's your timing strategy? For most outreach, I'll tell you it's pretty universal. Anything that's going to be, it's Tuesday through Thursday. It's a gap in the morning and a gap in the afternoon. Avoid lunch, avoid the beginning of the day, avoid the end of the day. If you can stay in those sweet spots, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can usually do quite a bit of success. So again, set yourself goals for direct sales calls. There's also email campaigns in here, LinkedIn approach, strategic sample drops. Again, this to me is one of the most effective ways to grow your business, and we'll show you another little tool that we've built as well. But strategic sample drops are one of the most impactful ways that you can grow your business. Operators, if you're working for operators, either you're an operator direct or you're working for one indirectly. Operators are about efficiency, the shortest steps between point A and point B. That's what an operator says you should do. Sales is not about efficiency. Emails are saying, oh, I can send a ton of emails. Yeah, you can. How effective is that going to be? I can sit on LinkedIn and just connect with people all day long. You can. Again, how effective is it? But if I go visit 10 people and I bring food samples out, then I am putting my food in their mouth. I'm meeting them. I'm shaking hands. Those are going to be the most effective visits that you can do. So business visits are a big part of this. Bringing food is even more important. And then lunch provided searches. So there's a really cool thing here that'll teach you how to get on Google or AI and start searching for businesses in your area. One of the things that we do frequently at NCC is we do hot leads, but where we do lunch provided searches, where we're searching for events where lunch is provided or lunch is included or whatever. You'll be surprised what you can find in future opportunities and past that you can do this. But there's some really cool tools in here for a lot of this stuff. So direct sales calls, email campaigns. And listen, I'm not opposed to email, but I think it has to be a layered approach, right? So you build your list, you send out emails, you do that inner office memo strategy where your subject line, it sounds like event question regarding meals. What are the options? Versus some kind of snazzy marketed up subject line that spam filters go, hey, we know this is one, we pull it. Those don't get through. If it's an inner office memo sounding, and I know I spelled it wrong. I spelled inner. That's my Southern boy coming out of me. But the idea is that you have a subject line that has a bit of a, hey, that sounds like somebody down the hall might be emailing me, right? And then I want to go into it. You're not going to be successful with emails if you can't get past the subject line. It's key. It's for everything. But anyway, there's some email templates in here. There's a bunch of stuff. So as you kind of get a chance to go through it, I would love any feedback you have. Let me know if you have some success. You're going to see some community engagement pieces on the right, business networks, trade shows, professional orgs. These are one-to-many processes. Me talking to multiple businesses all in one place. If you have time for that, these are fantastic. BNI groups, chambers of commerce, business associations, community events. I know one strategy from an old Honey Baked general manager whose child was playing soccer said he made more catering contacts on a weekend soccer tournament than he did doing anything else because all of those kids have parents that do other things. And so, Danielle, just any thoughts about any of these outbound models before we kind of dig into some other stuff?
No, but I'm a huge fan of sample drops. It's your number one marketing tool. Cost you maybe 30 cents on the dollar. It's fabulous. And I know it's hard to drag somebody out of the restaurant, but they work.
Yes. And it makes such a huge impact on your reputation. There, you've instantly built some credibility and trust with them. So as again, we talked about there's a research phase, an outreach phase, a follow-up phase, and a relationship phase. So if you just go into the relationship phase deep dive, there's a client retention simulator that we've built in here, which will tell you, based on order frequency, payment history, et cetera, you plug some information down here, it's going to give you a score it's on how it all works out. There's just some really cool tools that we've built in here. But relationship versus the transaction mindset. Remember, you're not trying to close an order. You're trying to secure business. It's a mindset shift that you have to change. If you're chasing orders, a lot of times you're going to get this roller coaster thing. There's also something called the care relationship framework in here, where you can talk about ways to reach out to them all during the year, whether it's birthday parties, or maybe it's a holiday message, or maybe you know that they're a fan of a specific sports team who just won some championship. It's a great way to do it. One thing I wanted to show everyone is this outreach performance analysis, which is if I did an hour of phone calls, an hour of emails, and I did an hour of LinkedIn communications and an hour of business visits. If I did that every day, so 4 hours a day for 2 weeks, Monday through Friday for 2 weeks, watch how these things kind of adapt. And I'm hopefully you can see them clearly enough. You'll start to see engagement rates. And these are real numbers based on things that we've done historically, things that we do in-house, and things that we've been able to discover from online. You'll start to see that after simply 10 hours in each of these categories, you're going to engage about 30% of the time on the phone, where you're going to get someone, you're going to have a conversation. You'll qualify about 15%. At NCC, we qualify closer to 25, but again, we're professional salespeople have been doing this for a long time. Email, you're talking about a 3% engagement rate if you're lucky. So again, send out your 500 emails. I'll go do 10 visits and I'll do just as well. And you're going to run out of leads before I do. That's kind of my mindset on this. Email outreach, you'll get about a 2 qualification rate, 7 engagement rate after 10 hours. I mean, it's just email's just not practical. We don't know if they get through, if they respond to us. I still haven't established a relationship with them yet. We're just trading digital messaging to each other. LinkedIn, again, build your base, build your influence, right? I don't know, Preet and Daniel. I got 5,000 plus connections. I love to participate on LinkedIn. I apologize to some of you if it's overkill. I think Preet said to me yesterday, going, I got 10 notifications and 8 of them were from Byron. So I said, maybe I need to slow down. But it made me.
I love it. No, I love
it.
It
Made me laugh. But LinkedIn is good for building your personal brand. That's what LinkedIn is for. Let them get to know you, Kim, the owner of Honey Baked in Fredericksburg, Virginia. You grow your brand through LinkedIn, and then you'll generate orders over time, but you can't use it as an outreach model. It's just not as effective as either making phone calls or going to business visits. So I can visit 100 places, 10 a day for 10 days, and I'm going to engage them, meaning have a conversation with someone at least 70% of the time. I'm going to qualify. Yeah, we bring in stuff because all they have to do is cater once or twice a year, right? And they're qualified. It's a good use of your time. I'm just saying there's a cool little tool here. If you need to show your boss that, hey, I need to be able to get out, then please show them that. And I will tell them that, and 10 hours of you sending emails or 10 hours of you visiting is going to always generate 5, 8, 10 times the results that you're looking for.
Byron, can I add something really quick?
Please.
When we were starting and we had zero catering for about a year and a half, we decided to go do this cookie drop and have a menu in our hand. And we'll get sometimes nothing. And sometimes we'll get somebody calling us after 6 months, like, how did you find us? Like, oh, you stopped by us and dropped cookies and I needed something urgent and I opened my drawer and your menu was there. And right away they just called. She could have typed catering near me or catering restaurants near me, but she just opened the drawer. Our flyer was there. Our menu was there, and she remembered the cookies that we dropped for her. So what Byron is sharing, that in person, hands down, beat everything else. One more point on LinkedIn really quick. What we have been doing is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you subscribe to that, and then you can reach outbound, you can search for office managers near you. That's a little bit different strategy.
Yes,
that's very helpful.
Yes, exactly. And if you don't want, I think it's $130 a month. Is that what Navigator is? I think something like that.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to spend the money for Navigator, build your brand. I think that's an important part of this. So I know for me, the longest I had between the time I dropped off a sample, like you're talking about, and somebody actually placing orders, about 3 years. If anyone out there is listening, if you've got a story that you want to type and share with us real quick, we'd like to read it before we leave, about your drop-off story and how long it took for the order to come through. I don't know, Danielle, if you've had that experience in the past. Is there anything that you've done on that side?
This was our go-to.
Yeah.
especially at Anthony's and even at 2J's because the desserts, but it works. It works.
Yeah.
It's the
Two
best
J,
use of your dollar. It's the
two J's
strongest
dessert.
marketing dollar you can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So absolutely.
And listen, if there are any potbelly people out there, I know you're known for that chocolate chip cookie. Get out there and bring those chocolate chip cookies in the afternoon. I promise you it's worth the time that you're spending. And it's an amazing cookie. Go share that cookie. It holds so much value. So take your hero. At Honey Baked, I could go out with a ham classic sandwich and a turkey classic sandwich. And I promise you, I was going to get an order from 90% of the people that I met because of the quality. So go with your hero and do it. If cookies aren't your thing or your cookies are subpar, don't bring your cookies. Bring what makes you you. And if that means you have to go in the morning before lunch because in the afternoon it doesn't make sense to bring that product, then go in the morning and skip the afternoon. Whatever works. We do have the catering calendar. I did copy it here for you in case you're interested. The catering calendar is you're going to see the highlights that we're talking about for each month, and then you'll be able to kind of this is free of charge as well. It's a cool calendar. It's going to be for you to access. You'll be able to access it here. But we got, like, for example, we look at next month. We got National Assisted Living Week. You click on it. Presley and Vicky on our team do an amazing job with this. I got a little teary-eyed. They've done such a great job with this calendar. So give a huge shout out to two of our folks at NCC. But they build this out. They talk about menu connectivity, use case, targets. If you want to know how to go after National Assisted Living Week, the second week of September, everything that you'll need is there. So again, those tools that we want to give you guys to be able to go back and have some fun and make some noise. So I apologize for all the scrolling. The last thing I want to cover
That's
here.
an invaluable tool. That calendar is an invaluable, priceless tool. Just, internally trying to pull something like that together, it takes forever. So,
yeah,
I mean, kudos on that.
Thank you. It's something that we love. It's what we use internally. This is the exact tool that our experts in New Catering Connections use. So we wanted to share it with you. It's a wonderful tool. If you're a catering salesperson and you're not using it, please check it out. I think you'll love it. I do have. So I try to be funny. I don't know. My wife says I'm the funniest person. I'm my own biggest fan on that kind of stuff. But things you hear when catering is down. I want to go through these real quick. So not kidding, y'all. I think Easy Cater is trying to screw us over with their new algorithm. INOF, it's not our fault. Often heard when catering sales are down. Then Easy Cater has changed their algorithm. The next one says, July always sucks. when you're making excuses when catering is down, the economy is bad right now. Things that might be said in meetings. Did I mention Easy Cater has changed their algorithms? So the idea is that there's always somebody to blame. Our price point is too high. I think the next one says our price point is too low. That's why we're not getting enough revenue. There's always a reason to be down. We lost our rock star status. What we wanted to communicate with that is you're in control of that. You're in control of how your sales grow by how much effort and energy you put out into the community. And we want to give you some tools to be able to do that. So the connection success framework, we've got some information on what the importance of rapid response, that stuff that Danielle was talking about earlier, that personal touch, those visits, those things that how to change it from an automated email to where it sounds real personal. Or maybe if you're in the lobby and you see one of your catering clients, go out and treat them to a dessert. Those little human touch pieces, the value focus. It's not about price. It's about solutions and benefits. If you click on this, there's going to be some U.S. market growth projections. So these are some real numbers. So you're always looking for numbers. This is going to talk to you about the $70 billion and going to $132 billion and all those things. There's a lot of information here. I'll click on it real quick if we want to touch on it. But there's some information about market growth projections where you can see what the industry is talking about doing. Talking about 97% of restaurant operators expect to grow 20% or more this year. So if you're not expecting to grow your business 20%, you're falling behind your competitors. Catering's share of the total U.S. food market now is about 11%. So 1.5 trillion by 2025 is the total sales, and catering's about 11% of that, to kind of give you a sense for where things are trending, and some growth drivers, et cetera. So there's some really cool stuff in here I think you'll enjoy as you dig into it a little bit. So I'll quit scrolling so we can get down to the last piece I wanted to touch on before we show you a little bit about of the website. The one thing I wanted to show you here is the strategic target list for September. That's been kind of a benchmark of ours that we want to talk about. Remember, 4 to 6 to 8 weeks ahead is where you want to go. We've highlighted 12 here. They're going to be on a scroll, on a carousel. So National Assisted Living Week. And you'll see September is amazing, probably second only to May for what it's available. National Beauty and Barber Week. So think spas, med spas, spa, what do you call it? Schools of Aesthetics, Abby, is that what it's called? Suicide Prevention Week, National Arts and Education Week is in there. There's some things that you can just really dig into. National Neonatal Nurses Week, so hospitals and those types of groups have an option here as well. Finance and accounting, hit those CPA firms. If nothing, now you'll also have the opportunity to do a lot with them when you get to tax season. Truck driver week, people miss this one a lot. There's a lot of revenue here. Put it in their truck and head out for the day. And then my friends at construction, I'm a huge fan of the construction. I think there's a ton there. Security Officer Appreciation Week. I'm going to take 30 seconds and go over that real quick. How many of you will tell me that you get out there to a place and there's a security guard and you can't figure out how to get past? That's the week to get past. Go in celebration of Security Guard Appreciation Week. Hit all of those businesses you struggle getting your foot in the door. You have the perfect, what we call a VBR, a value business reason to get your foot in the door and do that. All right, so let's go back to the page. Have we lost everybody yet? We still got 47. So thanks you. About 85 or 90% of you are hanging on. So we're going to go to the main page here, and we're going to show you a little bit about the website. Thanks to our partners with Danielle and Preet, and last week with Charlie, and you're going to meet Chen Tan from Meals Now coming up, that are being a part of this community we're trying to build for you and your peers and your teammates and your fellow owners or your fellow staff members. The goal was we're trying to build something unique, it's different, and maybe it's a little cheesy with the space theme of having fun with it. But the idea is that we're going to have 6 different components to the site. The catering customer journey is what we're on right now. That's our webinar part of the site. And we're going to always document our webinars, and you're going to have everything that we're showing you here, and it's going to stay here for you. We're also building out a catering community hub. This one I'm a little excited about. It's got a little space coffee shop theme in the background. But what I'm excited about is we're going to build out some things here. So we're going to have expert insights. So we're going to have people like Danielle and Preet and hopefully some others that will be able to have a blog and share insights for you. We're also going to share market intelligence as we uncover it. I've actually purchased an API integration with Perplexity, which is giving me a ton of catering data. We're going to store it here. We're going to uncover it, give citations to those folks that did that research, but we want to have it in one place for you to find. Strategic partnerships. We're going to look for folks that we think are good partners, nice guys, nice gals, good business people, people that really want to help the community. And we're going to make sure that they're featured here and are part of our community. Industry events. So when we're looking at food on demand, or we're looking at a lot of these different workshops and seminars that are taking place, we want to make sure that we have an all-in-one captured calendar ready to go. We're going to have discussion forums, but the one thing I'm kind of excited about with this one is the catering connections, where we're going to if you're looking for a job, you can post your resume. And if you are needing to hire a catering sales manager, you can post your job, and maybe we can be kind of a little catering matchmaking service for you. The goal here is we love this community. I don't think there's anyone on this call or anyone on our team or anyone that there's even a bunch of folks that aren't here that registered that are wanting to watch the video when we're done. We love this industry. There's something magical about it. I can't quite put my finger on it all the time. Why? But there's something very important here, and we want to be able to nurture that and grow. So we're going to have a training academy where you can come in and learn and take tests, and you can put your catering sales manager through some tests if you'd like to kind of make sure that you're confident that they know what they're doing if you've hired someone. We're going to have a trend site where we focus on catering sales trends and some of those data you might need if you're building a report or a presentation that you need to do. We're going to have a marketing central where we're going to be able to assist you with scripts and templates and social media generators, and all these things that we're really exciting about, and then a resource library. So we're going to keep building it out. Right now, they're all in progress. And the goal is for the remainder of this year for us to get all of these built out. The last thing I want to cover real quick, and then Abby, if anybody's got any questions, Abby's here watching. There's going to be 4 pathways. And this is a bit of a challenge. This is the hard part of this. But when we're all said and done, we're going to have 4 pathways. One for the restaurant general managers and the restaurant staff, a separate one for franchise owners and restaurant owners, and then one for catering sales managers and one for catering brand leaders. And the reason we're breaking these out is you don't if you're a catering brand leader, you don't necessarily want to go through the basics of how to handle when somebody walks in the door. We'll make sure that information is there for you to be able to disperse across your teams. But the goal here is that we want to make sure that when we're going to build out a search engine and a table of contents that's going to highlight you by your color, so you can instantly go to those parts of our site that are dedicated for you. And so we're going to have a separate pathway. So it's not the traditional basic, intermediate, advanced. This is who are you and what do you need from our site? If you're a general manager and you want to be able to kind of start this, we want you to have what you need without a lot of materials that maybe don't pertain to you. So understand that's kind of part of our goal as we do this. So right now, the only part that's active is the catering customer journey, but please look forward to the other pieces coming on board as we go. We're going to publish the updates we've made since the last webinar. And so therefore, you'll have some visibility to a lot of things, hopefully starting by tomorrow morning. And then the final thing I wanted to touch on here is our premium vendor program. As folks like Preet, as Charlie last week, as Danielle with RevGen Marketing, Chintan coming up next month with Meals Now, we're going to always feature our vendor partners. So if you come to our website, which will be thecatering-space.com, you'll always be able to find this. If you don't know, I don't remember Preet's phone number. I don't remember how to spell his website. You come to our site, you'll be able to access it there, and it'll take you directly to them. Anybody that's participating in our group, our vendors are going to get access to be able to get to you if you need. This is not a monetized site. This is just a community we're trying to build. So a lot of extra there. I would love any feedback. Danielle, maybe Preet, anything else you guys would like to add before we let everybody go?
No, I just think this is an invaluable tool. Like I said, I would have killed to have something like this. And I mean, it cuts down your time and it really gives some incredible points. If you're serious about catering and you follow some of these steps, you will be successful. And again, catering should be anywhere from 10 to 20% of your sales. And if it's not, you're leaving money on the table. And this is the opportunity to really dig in here and get some tips that can move it up by a point or 2 points or 5, right? So it's become very relevant and important. Yeah, years ago, they just threw up a catering program and that was it. Can't do that now. There's really a touch point at every factor as you go along the way.
And
yeah, totally agreed. And I think if there's so much information, if you can take any one thing and just go deeper and implement that one thing really well, that would be the point to start, because sometimes there is so much information out there, it can be overwhelming. But if you know what your team and you can execute, pick one thing and just go at it, start from there, that would be a good return on your time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of these things go 4 and 5 deep, like server order pad notes. So like if you're in a casual dining, having a pad inside their order thing, and they can just tear off, and it says catering, it's got their information, you can leave it with the bill. There's so many little things you can do. So first of all, thank you. I know this, apologize for the clunky start. That's what I get for scheduling a separate webinar the hour before, so I apologize for that. But this is something I'm so passionate about. I love it. I want to continue to grow this, and I really would love it if you guys can share, want to be a part of it, continue to join. Continue to share it after. If you get these links, pass it on to folks. If you see there's value, I think you're going to love the site. I'll have an update in the morning where we'll publish it, and you'll have access to everything we showed you today. Abby, you have your hand up. Anything you have on your side?
Yeah, I just wanted to address one question I wasn't able to answer in the chat. We have Someone that asked whenever you were talking about the outbound, about emails, you mentioned inner office email subject lines and a couple of examples of those.
So yeah, an inner office memo is something that it just sounds like it came from Louise down the hall, not necessarily from an outside source. So one of the ones we've always used to use was event question regarding meals. Can we talk? Question mark or something like that. And so the subject line has to be honest. It has to be addressed in the content of the email. So you can't have a misdirection. You can't say something on one side and then the content is different, just to make sure. But it's a way for people to go, well, wait a minute, do we have an event coming up? The goal is to get the email open while still being genuine and honest. It's just a different way of scripting it out. And so I think we'll have some examples in here, obviously, that you'll be able to look at and use. But just be creative in who you're reaching out to, and imagine, say, well, if I worked in the same office, how could I get their attention? We don't want to lie. We want to make sure whatever we're saying is honest. But I found the model works really well. It's the difference between a 2% open rate and an 8 to 13% open rate, just simply by making sure you have an effective subject line. So thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate you being a part of it. We want these to be helpful. We want them to be impactful. I know every time Danielle and I talk is like, where can we add more value? Where can we add more value? Where can we add more value? And so understand that's where we're coming from. And so we always want feedback. Share anything that you want to share with us. We would love to get your thoughts. But more often than not, just thank you for taking an hour and 12 minutes out of your day to be a part of our catering family for a minute. And if there's anything we can do, the exciting part for me as of yesterday was 51 different brands represented in the registration on this. I don't know how many made it. I know some folks are just waiting to get the recording after, but 51 different restaurant brands is very exciting, and it shows you the potential that's out there for this community. So thank you very much. Danielle, anything before we go?
No, thank you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for having me.
All the best, everybody. Thank you, and we'll see you next month, okay? Thanks, Preet. All the best, y'all.
Thanks, Byron. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Danielle.